I have a really cool way to show the armbar to beginners. So now even with one finger, if I start pulling your arm down, now you're gonna do exactly the same, but on me.
If you can go through the pain, you don't tap, right? You just wait.
No, you don't tap the pressure.
Did you ever have to break an arm? Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today it's a special day. I'm gonna do a jiu-jitsu session with Alvaro, good friend of mine. Do you want to introduce yourself quickly?
Yeah, so my name is Alvaro. Originally I'm a chef, but I got the opportunity to open Hoga and showing jiu-jitsu around.
So actually what you guys have to know is when I joined Alvaro's classes, we did a lot of this warm-up stuff for jiu-jitsu, and it gave me so much inspiration for many of my moves now that I posted. And it's just really nice to create flows with an inspiration of different disciplines. And I think jiu-jitsu is very similar to my ground movements. And this is also why I hear so many comments all the time from people telling me, oh, you should try jiu-jitsu, you should do that, you will be so good at it.
It's funny because I think I saw your videos on Instagram.
Yeah, I remember.
And I just text you like, hey man, you will be so good doing jiu-jitsu just because of all you do.
So I mean, I'm also a really beginner. So what are the really basics you teach? For example, armbar, or like you said, with the elbow, with the frame, or yeah, a person that never ever did anything?
Me as a coach, the first thing I show is how to fall. There is people that they fall and they fall directly on their head. They don't know how to roll. They injure their neck, can be disastrous. So first, to do a front roll, okay? The idea is to create a frame with your elbow rolling over your shoulder, okay? Here. That's it, super easy for you. For the back roll, the idea of hitting the floor is just to absorb the impact, you know? If you just let yourself fall here, most probably you're gonna get the whiplash of your head. Yeah. We sit slowly back and you bring the head to the opposite side. Now we're gonna do hip escape. You're gonna use your feet to push your hips sideways, you know? You're gonna lift your hips, push them sideways to here, exactly. All the way to the back. Now we're gonna do forward hip escape. I'm gonna turn to the side and do a side step with the side part of my toes, okay? Now I'm gonna bring my chest close to my knee and then my hips close to my heel, bringing my hips to the inside. Doing a turn, ready to step on the other side and do exactly the same. Yes, exactly. Good. And try to do a little bit faster.
Feels weird.
We're not used to pose with the outside of the feet.
Yeah, I mean actually this one is, I'm comfortable with it because I use it also in all those moves here all the time. This I'm used to push away, but now I somehow have to, first I go with the body, right? And then I can do this.
And that's why it's a reverse hip escape, or forward. You're doing totally the opposite.
Also in the workshops I teach all the time, for example, those get-ups that I do with the kicks and stuff, these actually came all from your jiu-jitsu elements, but also this hip escape that we're doing here, I started to create like the touches and then combine it with some other exercises.
One of the movements you use now, we call it the technical stand-up, okay? So when you have an attacker that is standing, you know, you cannot stand up in any way. I have both of my hands now on the floor. You can clearly enter with the knee or start punching, okay? Exactly, so I'm gonna adopt this position in which with my leg, I can keep the distance, okay? If now I'm just posting, but if I kick really hard on your knee, you can imagine what can happen, okay? Then I have my hands on top, trying to protect me and keeping the distance. And if you stretch your arm, now we have a 2-arm distance. Boom, and I want to come here closer. Exactly, that's the way. The other move, it's, I don't really know how it's called, this one, but we do it in jiu-jitsu a lot. No, you go here, go to the side, to the other one, go in there. So I'm using basically the same movement here, but to escape the back.
So my question is, can you also like stay here on the elbow instead of going to the hand and come out from this position so you don't have to go up like this, but you could go directly from the elbow.
You actually have a submission from there. With this one, kind of like you wrap around my elbow. Then you post this hand or the elbow on the floor, and then as you come out, you keep my arm, and then you start lifting it up. Exactly. Go, 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 go. Up. Exactly.
Yeah. Nice. It's crazy how you can. That's also the experience, right? That you know exactly from what position you have like 10 options to do, and you pick one. In the beginning, you just feel lost because you're there. What can I do now? This is the thing. I don't speak this language yet, so you have to start learning the puzzle pieces to know. Okay, now I could do this or I could do that, and this is just crazy experience.
That's why it's so important that when you start Jiu-Jitsu, you go through your fundamentals. As you learn it, it starts to make everything easier. Yeah. The last movement I think we did once is the double leg entry. The first, it's two movements, you know. First I want to go down, and then I want to go forward, bringing my knee to the floor as I enter here. Okay? And not too much on the outside, because then it's easy for you to catch me in a guillotine. Okay? So the head should be here. Then I can start pushing here to the side. Do a penetration step with this one here, boom, then you go down. Exactly. No, then the head will go on the other side. Exactly. And then you go to the side. Yes. Exactly. Now you can do it real speed. Exactly. And that's why it's important to learn how to fall. Okay. I think it happened to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was using a boxing bag and I was playing around with it. So I like grabbed with my legs the boxing bag and I did crunches. But at some point I was sliding down, slow, and I was just falling down. But I did this, or
yeah,
I
did that. Yeah.
Because I remembered it from Jiu-Jitsu. So it's a nice skill in your everyday life.
Now I'm gonna show you the Russian tie. You know which one is the Russian tie?
No.
So the Russian tie, for sure, you've seen it in wrestling too. You can have control of the wrist, control of the shoulder, and you pin this to your chest here. Important here is my head. Look, I'm now controlling my shoulder, your shoulder. My shoulder is behind yours, putting pressure. I have this arm pinned towards me, but you can turn towards me. The moment you turn towards me, I lose control, okay? So look how everything changes when I bring my head inside. So now you want to turn towards me, there's no chance, okay? And when I walk, I really commit of bringing your hand to the floor. Because even here, if you try to bring your hand out, you are pinned to the floor.
In, bam, bam.
Exactly.
Bam.
So what you're gonna do is bring your shoulder to the front and pull the arm.
But here I don't have a good grip, huh?
You can control here, and then this hand goes underneath. Exactly. Grab my shoulder and your shoulder blocking mouth. Yes. Then you bring the head, gonna move around. Exactly. So if we start from here now, exactly, you can grab like this, and then you go for the elbows. Now here, there's no chance I can go out. And you roll, and you see you only have to, it's already there. Exactly. Sometimes people is really strong that it's difficult to bring this arm in. So what I do, I just lock here, and this already locked. There's no way you can escape the arm. There's no way this grip can break.
I can hold together.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, now I was like trying to slide it a little bit down to not be too much there, right?
Yeah. When it goes too deep, then it feels like a crank. It feels pain on the. It's not like a choke, you know.
Yeah. So you don't really have to tap if you can go through the pain. You don't tap, right? You just wait.
No, you don't tap to pressure.
Not allowed.
Every choke, every guillotine choke, is using this part, you know, here. This is like a blade that always goes. Even when you go do a guillotine, this is what enters here in the throat.
So you always focus on having this part in front of the...
Yes, yes. If not in front, on the side.
And I guess in Jiu-Jitsu now you would have to do this drill like 1,000 times to have it like fast and perfect and...
So there are different ways you can train it, you know. The first is when you study the position, you see all the reactions or counters your opponent can do. So then you have an answer for everything, okay? Then you start drilling it with repetition, that your brain starts to understand the mechanic way of the move. And then you have to do it with resistance, you know? It's easy to do it just like now, but it's totally different with a resisting opponent.
So we could, for example, do now with a partner, you say, okay, I do it 5 times, the whole sequence, and then you do it 5 times again. And then maybe after a while we say, okay, now you start resisting 20%.
Exactly.
And then you start resisting 40%.
Exactly.
Until in the end, you try to resist all you can, and I still try to manage
it. That's the sparring for, you know. In the sparring, even if it's way difficult to try to shoot a technique you were practicing, you should try it. Sometimes your body is not used to certain sport. The movements you do are gonna be floppy, you know, you understand? So the first thing you need to teach your brain is to understand the movement. I have a really cool way to show the armbar to beginners, which starts with a solo drill. I like to show the students what is happening so they understand better how to do an armbar. So first of all, you see the elbow is after or above the line of my hip, okay? Meaning my hips are really deep under your shoulder. My feet should be on the floor, okay? Not on the air, not cross, okay? On the floor, because now I can create the leverage. Look, relax your arm. Look what happens when I pinch my knees. The arm goes up. There's already a lot of pressure, so now even with one finger, if I start pulling your arm down, I can make you tap. Okay, that's the amount of pressure you put here, you know, to go here on the side. Now imagine if I pinch your wrist to my chest, and now I pinch here. Start lifting up my hips. It's already breaking the arm. Okay, so there is pressure here, there is pressure on the other side, which is creating the bend or the fold on the opposite direction of the joint. The thing is, sometimes people try to do this here. And then what is it? It's my arms against your arms. But here I'm connecting my arm to my upper body. So the moment when I stretch down, it's not only my arm pulling, but also my back and all my hips. Boom, to break the grip.
It's all about leverage as well, right?
Yeah, that's a big word in Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, so if you have a smaller guy versus a way bigger guy, but the smaller one has a lot of experience and the bigger one no experience, you can still win as a smaller guy, right? Because you can use the leverage to still win.
Yeah, 100%. A beginner most probably is gonna push you away, you know, with the arms. It's gonna push you, doing the biggest mistake you can do, which is keep the arm extended.
Now I give you the arm, right?
Because now I can lean forward, jump directly into the position, and finish the armbar from here.
So leg mobility is also important, I guess, for Jiu-Jitsu,
important.
right?
There is people that they cannot even do this movement, you know? So the first thing I show, start here, you lean forward, and you need to understand that if your partner head is here, you're gonna end up looking to the right. And that rotation is gonna give this knee. Exactly. Your right leg is already extended. Your heel and your toes point out, so you can come in. Now you lean slightly to the right, not to the front, to the right, like towards your right knee, so you can free this leg. Step in, and then we fall back to the armbar. Exactly. At the same time you slide this knee, try to already stretch your leg. Yes. Now you're gonna do exactly the same, but on me. No, don't lift it, slide it next to my head, and this one is the one I'll stretch. And then bring this together. But then you see you're sitting now on the floor. You have to be sitting
Yeah.
Yes. Now I feel the weight. So now if you want to pass this leg over, it's impossible because all your weight is laying under your heel. So you have to lean to this side and then the weight is off. No, you have to bring the leg over.
Over your head.
Yes, exactly. And then you can sit. Yes. Now try to pinch this knee with your heel, you know, like this. Here, pinch your knee to your heel. Exactly. You will feel how everything starts to be tighter. You see? Oh.
Do people with hyperextended elbows have an advantage in this?
Till certain point, you can like hyperextend the arm, but hey, when you have a full locked armbar, you know, it's either tapping or someone breaks, it's gonna break your arm.
Did you ever have to break an arm?
Not an arm, but when I had a MMA fight, when I was a teenager, I ended up in the mount position, and then exactly like that, I jumped to the armbar, and his elbow didn't break, but he was trying to get out, and this movement made that his shoulder dislocated. You can hold it, but at the end you're gonna end up injuring yourself.
So if I would be stupid, I would just go through it and try not to tap as long as I can because I don't want to lose because of my ego, you know. I already know I could now fight for 10 more seconds, or I can say, okay, he got me anyways, you know. Better don't risk it to go to more and more pressure. He has to push more. Better you say, okay, you got me, I learned the mistake I did, I can tap. I don't need to go to this limit.
No. If you got it, you got it, and yeah, you have to leave your ego behind and say, okay.
That's why it's important to have good training partners.
No.
Definitely.
No. Now, the third part is gonna be setting up the submission. Okay, so I'm gonna control the head. Okay, I like to go with the middle finger to the armpit because here I can put pressure. Okay, the pressure starts on the chest and starts going up, and you can feel how it starts to choke even. Okay, you can do it also here, but again, this is pressure. This is something that you shouldn't tap against you. Okay, so here, if I go too close to your armpit, you can resist.
Can you go this?
Exactly. If I go too close to your elbow, you can just turn your hand up and bring your elbow down. Exactly. So you have to be kind of like in between. Now I go in, forward, and trap. Now I need to get to my high mount, and the hand that it was controlling the armpit is gonna pass to the head. Here. Now if I want, I can pass this like over, finish the armbar from here. Boom. Or I can sit back and finish it here.
Good. From here, goal is to go under.
Exactly. Isolate. Control the head. Now start climbing until your knees touch my armpits almost. Exactly. Now it's gonna be easier for your left knee to go around my head.
Now I grab already the arm.
You need to stretch this leg. Exactly, and enter that position. Don't forget the one that we did at the beginning. Yes, exactly.
Okay, now I felt it a bit more, yeah. So many details you have to
It's crazy.
check it.
Yeah, much better.
So, and now, what would be like a finishing technique, exercise, or like a drill, like a game that you would do at the end of a class, for example?
Light sparring.
It destroys me now, and I try to survive.
A light sparring.
We can try that. You try to make me tap, and I just try to defend as good as I
You
can.
can try to make me tap.
Yeah, but the problem is when I try to make him tap is I have no idea what I'm doing. I mean, of course, you as a coach, you could like let me go through the steps that we just practiced, and then maybe I can do it like that.
Yeah, we can set up the timer.
Yeah.
4 or 5 minutes. We just roll and starting from the mount.
Yeah, let's do it. So we start from standing, or we start from the floor?
Yeah, we can start from standing, yes.
Yes, yes. You almost let me do it. You almost let me do it. Oh, I got it.
So you pull the hip, kick in front, and then take the back. Go. Good one.
Nice, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
What you also need is short hair for this kind of sport.
There's people who have a beard, and whenever you are doing gi, then you don't want to be mean and grab the beard when you go for the gi, you know.
But it would not be allowed, I guess.
No, I mean, it can happen, you know, but it's a strategy.
I mean, obviously, you saw that he's a good coach, so he let me play around. He put me in some situations. I also feel how intense it is, you know. 5 minutes, sweating like crazy, breathing like crazy. So I think also it's different kind of intensity. But I also experienced this with boxing, kickboxing, with jiu-jitsu. You get into this stress situation because in boxing, you don't want to get hit. If you get hit, it's like a stress if you don't know how it feels, you know, it's like, oh shit. Jiu-jitsu the same. You have someone on top of you and you're like, I cannot breathe almost, but I still try to. So this stress level with fighting is crazy, a whole new experience, definitely.
It's always the girls that they see the sport and their first thought is like, no, that's too much contact, it's too sweaty, I don't like this. But then when they finally try it and they realize what they're capable to do with their hands, you know, with their body, it's like they love it, you know. And then they become addicted to jiu-jitsu and they come train every time. You know?
Yeah, I hope you guys, wherever you're watching, I hope it was also interesting for you. You see, it needs a lot of practice with everything. Of course, you can maybe have some kind of talent or your body composition is really good for it, but without practice, nothing comes, you know, nothing comes without practice. So for me the same, I would have to do it more often to get into it. So if you're ever looking for classes here in Zurich as well, he's teaching at Hoga Studio here in Zurich. Check it out. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will keep uploading high quality content for you guys to help you to make your body your best friend. So thank you so much. Thank you, Alvaro. It was a pleasure meeting you again. See you next time.